So I want to read you an article. This article is on Mako Vacations. It's like the vacation section of Mako. This is like mainstream Israeli like news site, okay? So here's the article. I translated it to English and I will now read it. I told them that there are hostages who are being raped, and they left. An Israeli family vacationing on Holobosh Island in Mexico got into a confrontation with the restaurant owner after it emphasized after he wrote on the check that beyond tips we will appreciate a ceasefire in Gaza. Okay? So this is what he wrote. An argument ensued between the parties in which the Israeli claims that the owner of the place left when she told him that there are hostages who are being worded in Gaza, and he expelled her from the place in front of the other diners who did not interfere. They did not interfere. So an Israeli creator, they say the name, I don't care, an Israeli creator, like a singer and artist who often performs together with her band around the world, flew to Mexico for a family vacation with her husband and nephews in order to get some fresh air from the routine of the war in Israel. Oh, so horrible. Her husband had several work meetings scheduled, and together they made the decision to turn the business trip into a family vacation. What a lovely and completely boring story until now. We decided to take our nephews with us to pamper them and to cool off a bit after the events of the 7th of October. We felt that they and we also needed it, some vacation after 7th of October. During the trip and during her husband's business meetings, Michal arrived alone with her children on Holbox Island, a popular destination among tourists from around the world, including many Israelis who come to vacation on the island. One morning, we decided to go to a local cafe called Nevermind for breakfast. When we got there, I spoke to the children in Hebrew. I wasn't worried, because that's what we had done until now, and we felt very safe. The owner of the cafe approached us at the table and was very curious to know where we were from. He really insisted that we tell him. She says that as soon as she noticed the man's curiosity, she answered him in English and with evasive answers. Okay, until she answered that they were from Israel. Ooh, the plot thickened. When they finished eating breakfast, she asked for the check in order to pay and leave. On the check, it was written, tips are always welcome, but much more than tips, we would appreciate a ceasefire in Gaza. Imagine the nerve. Imagine the nerve. When she noticed the inscription, she was surprised and related the insistence of the owners of the place to understand which country they were from. She understood that it was related. It was a red light that I didn't notice. Like a red flag that I didn't notice. I was just in shock with the children. I didn't understand what this message was supposed to express. And at that moment, everything suddenly clicked. Suddenly came to my mind the Bibes family, the families of the kidnapped, of the hostages, my sister's boyfriend who is currently fighting as a reservist. Indeed, brave people, brave people. She decided to approach the owner of the place and ask for the meaning of the message. As soon as I approached, the owner and another employee who was with him, I realized that something was wrong with them. She realizes that they are insane. Because otherwise, how would they write such a message? You understand. I asked them, why do you involve politics? After all, we had come for breakfast. I told them that there are Israeli girls who are hostages and are being R-worded in Gaza. And they both laughed at this. He told me that it is not political but humane. Because it is impossible to avoid what is happening in Gaza, and that they will always support the Palestinians. Crazy people, crazy people. After she came to understand why the message on the check was necessary, and emphasized that she had only come for breakfast with children, the owner of the cafe was furious. I make the decisions here. This is my house and I will do what I want in my house. Pay and fly out of here. So rude. So rude. Imagine, I need to say something. Imagine kicking people out of somewhere. Imagine the nerve of taking people who just want to carry out their lives without any interruption and do their normal things and kicking them out of a place. Imagine that. I know that no Israeli will ever do such a thing. Ever. She went back to her table to pay when the owner walked beside her and kicked her and her nephews out. There were a lot of tourists there who just didn't interfere. Imagine that when someone kicks someone else out, no one interferes. No one stops them from doing this. Imagine that. Imagine. Everyone saw what happened here. I was terribly angry, yes? Rightfully so, she was angry. She was kicked out of somewhere. She just wanted to live her life in peace and she was kicked out and everybody saw what happened and nobody did anything. I was terribly angry and I was also afraid. I refrained from crying near the children. She did not want to cry near her children. Imagine a mother crying in front of her children. Imagine that. How sad it is that a mother has to cry in front of her children because she was kicked out and all she wanted was live her own life in peace. Imagine. The people sitting in the cafe saw that he had a fight with me and that I was alone. And no one came to ask or calm things down. No one came to help. No one came to help. It is important for her to emphasize the sense of security she felt together with her husband and nephews during the vacation period in the various places in Mexico. Because, okay, so it was one incident, but she generally feels safe, and that's good. I'm happy for her that she generally feels safe. I'm happy for her. And I wish everybody felt generally safe. I wish that everybody does. Like her. But at the same time, it is important for her to warn Israelis who come to the island and usually come to the cafe. After an inspection I conducted with Israelis who live in the area, it became clear to me that the same owner of the cafe is an Italian who came to the island and opened the cafe. The people I know talked to him after the incident and demanded clarification. He was furious and refused to remove the inscription from the check, and claimed that he would continue to express his support for the Palestinians. So rude. So rude. I also learned that he was holding a Palestinian flag in the cafe. A Palestinian flag! We did not notice the flag. I was told that he needs the money of the Israelis and hangs the flag whenever it suits him. So hypocritical. So hypocritical. So this is an article published in Mako Vacation. It is a very interesting and spicy story about the vacation of semi-celebrity Israeli singer. And I think it was interesting.